All right, today on POAT, we're talking the Deli Mouse at Whole Foods and that viral TikTok video. We're talking about what happens when you don't call your mom and it makes front page news. We're talking about New Orleans with some restaurant recommendations. And we're talking about Russian hacks, which, now that I think about it, would make a great name for a comedy troupe. I'm Anthony LaDon, and this is POAT. There's this TikTok video in the news about a mouse in Whole Foods. Some girl recorded a video, and it was of a mouse in a Whole Foods deli meat counter munching away, having dinner, just minding its own business, enjoying a nice salami, maybe a little mortadella, something good. Maybe it made a sandwich. I don't know. But it became a sensation in a bad way because some girl recorded it and then posted it to YouTube, to TikTok. She was quoted as saying, and here's what she said: "I just want people to be aware of the situation and something needs to be done. I just want people to be aware of the situation." Everybody except Whole Foods, apparently. You couldn't have just told somebody while you were there? Who raised you? Actually, her mom raised her, who was also at Whole Foods and had witnessed the whole scenario unfold as well. What? Why is your first thought? Why is the first thing that goes through your head, whoosh, whip out your phone, record a video, and then dash it off to TikTok for the world to see? Why not just give Whole Foods a chance? You know, maybe step up to the deli counter, take a number, get up to the deli counter and say, "Hey, by the way, you've got a mouse problem." Give them an opportunity to fix it. Who raised you? I don't think you're the only one, girl out there. And actually, you know what? Okay, I'm going to shift the blame to your mom because you're still a kid, I think. They called you a girl, not a woman. So I'm assuming you're young. And I don't think it's fair to really pick on you because I think if kids do something wrong, it's their parents' fault. Up to a point. I think maybe up until you're like 15, 16, then it becomes your problem. Because your parents can only put up guardrails and train you for so long before you become an asshole all on your own. You know, but they try to beat it out of you while they still can, right? While you're young. Anything up until 16, I think. Maybe 13 in some cases. I don't know. I don't have kids of my own. I don't know if this is even how it works. But I'm assuming that when a kid does something bad, a parent then, beats that child emotionally. Well, not even emotionally, metaphorically. You want to beat the bad behavior out of the kid? I'm not a parent, by the way, and I'm not suggesting that people actually beat their kids. Just, we know that we're joking here, right? I assume that. I feel like I just need to put a disclaimer out there because some of you people might take me seriously and write a review and say, "This guy is advocating child beating." I'm not. Unless they're a bad kid. No, even that, obviously, don't beat your kids. Beat other people's kids. No, okay, even then, just don't. We're having fun here. That's the whole point of this thing. But it makes me mad. And okay, yes, Whole Foods probably shouldn't have had that happen, but you know what? It probably happens everywhere. I've had it happen in a restaurant. I've seen a mouse run in a bar, and I told the bartender, "Hey, you got a mouse problem." And he said, "Hey, mind your business." No, I'm just kidding. He said, "Hey, thanks very much." And I've never seen a mouse there since. I haven't been back, but presumably they took care of it. I didn't need to tell the world. Because then when you give them the opportunity to fix the problem, then it's on them. Then they didn't know, and accidents happen. But instead of shining a spotlight for the entire friggin' world to see, just deal with it. I just got back from New Orleans, and Lauren and I had lunch at a restaurant, and this is a great restaurant. I love it. But the vegetables that came with, it was Brussels sprouts that came with the pork chop I ordered, were inedible because they were almost completely raw. Like they had been like flash roasted, so the outside was crispy, but then the inside was, I couldn't cut it with a knife. It was very difficult to eat. I feel like an old man for saying that, but just bear with me. Just trust me. I know how to cook Brussels sprouts. These were very hard to eat. And I told the waiter, hey, you might want to alert the kitchen that these Brussels sprouts are inedible. They're undercooked. He said, hey, no problem. Can I get you anything else? And we said, well, we'd like some sort of vegetable here because this is New Orleans and we've not been eating vegetables the entire time. And he said, no problem. 5 minutes later, the manager came out, apologized for the Brussels sprouts, dropped, it was some collard greens, I think, and collard greens, like bacon. It was amazing and it was great. So that was fine. The restaurant was Cochon. It was a Donald Link place, highly recommended in the CBD district of New Orleans. Anyway, that's for another episode. Maybe not. Maybe we'll do some New Orleans recommendations here. But that's the thing. Like I'll go back there for sure. I've gone there several times before. They had a little bit of an oopsie, in my opinion. Maybe not. Maybe that's how they like serving their Brussels sprouts. But the point is, I gave them the chance. I told them I was unimpressed or disappointed with the Brussels sprouts. I can't eat them. They came right back out 5 minutes later. Didn't charge me or nothing, right? That's assumed. It was great. I didn't need to tell the world, except now. But I'm telling you how they fixed it. Imagine if this girl had taken a video of Whole Foods remedying the situation. Well, that would have been weird. Then it's like a mouse caught in a mousetrap or something, and they're like exterminating it on the spot, like cleaning out their entire deli counter. That's terrible. But where I'm going with this is, what type of world do we live in where this is people's first thought is to, instead of addressing the situation right then and there, maybe giving them an opportunity to correct their behavior and fix it, she tells the world all about it. If I were that girl's mom, she would be grounded. I think. Is that still a thing? Do parents ground children? Does it even make a difference anymore? Do they just take away their cell phone for a week or something? That'd be prison, I imagine. But why are we doing this? Because then here's the tricky part. I get the temptation of dashing off a video, but then it makes it all about you and you just become an asshole. You get your 15 minutes of glory, of fame, and with inflation now it's 15 seconds. But you get your 15 minutes of fame, and people now know because they've seen you in the news. And then what happens? Absolutely nothing. You return to the same terrible person. I'm talking about the mom here, I guess. It feels weird. It feels weird calling a child a terrible person. Maybe I'm just going to switch it to the mom. But then it's a little bit more difficult, more convoluted. Yeah, we all know we're exaggerating a little bit here, right? It's a safe space, I think. The internet, right? It's all safe, presumably. But yeah, this girl makes it all about her. When instead it's a Whole Foods thing. It's about them, and give them a chance to remedy. I mean, I even feel weird telling you about the Brussels sprouts in the restaurant because now I question why I mentioned it. And I have to rationalize it I'm just trying to illustrate a point that there's another way to do things. You could just fix it there. But now that I've mentioned it on air, to the 2 listeners I have, now it becomes about me talking about how great I am, which I think is obvious. I don't need to say it. I don't think I need to point out the glory that is me, right? We all get that? I loved her line though. I just want people to be aware of the situation. Yeah, just not Whole Foods. Just not Whole Foods. Imagine being Whole Foods and finding out that way. Hey boss, did you see this TikTok video that's blowing up? Millions of people have seen that we totally screwed up. Oh shoot. Man. And then they have to scramble, and then they post some sort of press release this never happens. It's just sometimes, it's only occasionally we get to a certain age and, the pressure is too great. It's a performance thing, But yeah, I to their credit, I assume maybe now, hopefully, the whole world has forgotten. Hopefully the whole world forgot about the mouse. And I should just delete this because now I'm reminding you that it happened. In other news of complete overreactors, there was also something in the same news article, not the same article, the same webpage, it's local news in New York, about a woman from Maine who disappeared after coming out of a McDonald's in Times Square. This was all of the news for 3 days last week, and it was big. There was a manhunt out. People were wondering where she went. Was she okay? Was her body going to turn up? In how many pieces? They interviewed her mom. She's like, this never happens. We're always in touch every single day. And I don't know. I don't recognize the people that she's on the surveillance, that she's with on the surveillance video. Who are these people? They're not her friends. Turns out she was found safe and sound in Queens. You know, as safe and sound as you can get in Queens. But yeah, she apparently, now granted, she was at McDonald's at 2 a.m., so I'm guessing she was hammered out of her mind. I think that's the only reason you would be at a McDonald's at 2 in the morning in Times Square. Is if you're visiting from another state, you don't know where to go, so you go to Times Square, first mistake. And you're hammered out of your mind, because there's a lot of bars and restaurants around, and you're celebrating. Turns out I think she was celebrating. She got a new job. And those sketchy characters that were with her on the surveillance video, I think were coworkers. Like they were just new people. This is what happens when you don't call your mom, whatever your name is, woman. Also, mom, take your Xanax. Dude, just relax. Just chill. What happened to the whole wait 24 hours before reporting a missing person? Maybe she was gone more than 24 hours. I don't know. I don't care that much. It seems weird to me that this made front page news. It was front page of the website. You know. Also front page today was the fire department returned a dog. They found a missing dog and returned it to the wrong owners. Da, da, da. That's fine. I assume it's going to be a happy ending. I don't know. I just assume everything's going to be happy ending. I'm sure the mouse was released back into the wild where mice go. I'm sure this gal is just embarrassed out of her mind, like, Mom, why did you call the cops? How would you, Mom, relax, lady. Come on. She's fine. She's a big girl. Why are you reporting her missing? Maybe, unless there's some real big issues there. There probably are real big issues if she's, I don't think there's anything wrong. Maybe there is. I think calling your mom every single day might be a little weird. Unless, I don't know, that might be a little weird. Unless there's something, unless she has to, check in for parole or something. But then why would you call your mom? It would be your PO. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know it strikes me as weird that that's the first place you would go, that you would even worry. I don't even know. I talked to my dad yesterday. Yeah, I talked to my dad last night. And he didn't know that I was gone for a week in New Orleans. I just didn't tell him. That's not, not a failure on either of our parts. We talk maybe once a week-ish. I forgot to, I think the last week when I was on a call with him, I just forgot to tell him, hey, by the way, we're going to New Orleans this week. Because really, why? People will find out if it's newsworthy. If our plane went down, I'm sure it would be on the news. We had a pet sitter watching our dog. After maybe texting us for a few days and not hearing anything back, she might think, oh no, were they on that flight that went down? Oh my God. And then, the building staff would help take care of it, find Bailey a new home with our families. I think it would be okay. But yeah, this gal, man, safe and sound. McDonald's at 2 a.m. I get it. Late night munchies. You gotta tighten up. You gotta have a cheeseburger to help tighten up all those. Whatever you look like you're a wine drinker. Maybe, oh no, probably White Claw. I think she's a White Claw drinker. I'm assuming. It's gonna be White Claw summer. Anyway, so I don't know. I don't even know what my point is with all this. I think I'm just disturbed at humans. Come on, be better, parents. Maybe I'll just tell this note to myself. Just don't worry if somebody goes missing. I mean, at some point, if my wife's gone, if she goes missing for like, I don't know, 3 weeks, then it's probably worth calling in. Maybe I'll wait a month, right? Because I don't want to be that guy that's like, hi, police, my wife's missing. And they're going to say, well, how long? And I'm going to say, well, about 3.5 weeks. And they say, give it another half a week. Wait till she's gone a month. I think that's the minimum for a missing persons report to be filed. That's all. I'll just relax. It'll be okay. I got really worked up there about this whole one news cycle. It was one news cycle. This idiot with the Whole Foods, with the Deli Mouse. Idiot. Come on. Fix it. Tighten up. Get better. And then this gal from Maine whose mom calls her. Well, she got into an Uber. It was an SUV. We don't know if it's an Uber or not. And you know who drives SUVs? Yeah, Uber drivers. So it was probably the Uber. The whole thing just felt super weird. Why? And also, why was this on the news? News, be better. I'm just calling everybody out today. I'm just sick of it. News people, why is this front page news? I don't know. The dog thing I get. That's a more important deal. If a dog is missing, that should be front page. And then if it was returned to the wrong people, that's a story. Why did it go missing? Who found it? We know that. It's a fire department. How did they drop him off at the wrong place? How did they find this other place? The wrong owners. Where are the right owners? Maybe they're out in Queens too. Maybe they were the Uber driver. Maybe they're all working together. I don't know. I feel a conspiracy theory coming on. Get my tinfoil hat out. But no, man, it's just, that's news people. White girl goes missing for 20 hours. Yeah, she was sleeping it off. She was hungover. Probably had no more juice on her phone. We've all been there. I've never been there. Never been hungover a day in my life. I mean, have I missed flights for work because I drank too much the night before when I was going to leave San Francisco for the last time? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Did I wake up with a power bar smeared on my chest because I slept face down on what I was trying to eat to tighten up? Yeah. Been there. Did I email my team and say, hey guys, sorry for missing my first day. I missed my flight. And then proceed to sober up and take the next one out? Yeah, of course I did that. But when you're young and dumb, those things happen. And this gal, I'm assuming, was young and dumb. And mom, relax. Also, my mom, I was never drunk. Don't worry about it. We're all okay. That was a good project, though. That was fun. Out in Carson City, Nevada. I didn't want to go anyway. I think deep down I didn't want to take the flight. So maybe this gal doesn't want to take her job, Or maybe she was just having a good time in Times Square, where everybody goes to celebrate. All right, what else are we talking about here? Oh, quick plug. Pardon the noise. I'm super excited to announce my wife's new book coming out in a couple of weeks, at the end of June. But get your copy now. It's paperback. The book is called To Sir With Love. And I don't know if you can see on the back of the paperback, you'll see a beautiful picture of her, and I took it. So I think I made the book. I made it. It would be something without, my contribution. But I think that's the real reason that this book is going to sell. I don't want to say millions of copies in the first week and jinx it, but I think that's going to be why. And also, one of our web design clients, this isn't a spoiler, nobody cares. It's not even a story. Just in case you don't know, my wife and I design websites on the side. And one of our clients, who's also a giant romance novelist, I mean, not physically, she's not like a giant romance novelist. She's a very successful romance novelist. She's one of our clients, Jill Chavez. Anyway, she says, as light and refreshing as a glass of champagne, To Sir With Love will have you smiling from the first swoon-worthy page to the last. Isn't that great? I'm so excited for this book to come out. So then I can actually read it, because this copy I have in my hands, I'm not allowed to read. I don't think. I haven't even asked. Maybe I should. I'll do that next. But yeah, I'm super excited about that book coming out. What else is going on? Oh, New Orleans. Man, that was that's New Orleans. Okay, so we just got back from New Orleans. And that was the first trip we had taken since this whole thing started. And it was great. It's pretty much back open. If you haven't been, or if you're there now and haven't left your house, it's pretty much back open. It's safe to leave. In fact, while we were there, they had just crossed another threshold to the point where in the hotel we were staying at, they had the signs up that say, please limit the elevators to one family per car. And then 2 nights into our 4-night stay, they took that side down. Not that anybody minded it. I mean, not that anybody followed the rules. People just jammed right in. They still had a mask mandate indoors at this place. And, but nobody followed it. We did because, I'm just grabbing a piece of dust. We did because we followed the rules all the time. Every last one of them. But no, it was great. New Orleans is a singular place in my mind. It's a lot different than anywhere else. I mean, if you go to Columbus, it's very similar to a lot of other cities. It's nice. It's great. No complaints. But nothing really, in my mind, sets it apart. New Orleans, though, is a place unlike anything else. It feels like it's entirely built around the hospitality industry. Tons of restaurants, tons of bars. Everybody kind of goes there. It's like a Las Vegas, but dirtier. It's pretty much, and swampier. If you like humidity, you will love New Orleans. I hate it, but we still have managed to have a good time anyway because all the bars and restaurants have air conditioning. I say that like it's a big surprise because surprise, they have air conditioning. Woo! No, everybody knows that. But anyway, if you go, in this last trip, I think we only went to one bar in the French Quarter. I don't even think we walked down Bourbon Street once. Now, we've been to New Orleans like 7 or 8 times just because it's super fun. It's always a great stop on our road trips. It's way out of the way, but it's just fun to go to anyway because the food is so different. Every restaurant kind of has a different take on different things. And I would actually recommend you don't even have to have gumbo and jambalaya and beignets. Beignets are fantastic. But gumbo is kind of like, okay, it's all right, in my opinion. I've had okay gumbo and I've had more okay gumbo. But the rest of their food is so, it's kind of, I say this and I feel like I sound like a 22-year-old social media influencer. But their food is kind of adventurous in a way. It's like everybody tries to do their thing, mashed up with Cajun Creole Southern food. So it's all kind of fun. Like we went to a place called Maypop. Highly recommend. It's Southeast Asian fusion fused with Cajun Creole cuisine, and it is awesome. I think we've been there 4 times in the last 2 visits to New Orleans. But so anyway, if you go to New Orleans, highly recommend. I love that city. I don't know how anything gets done there. It's so relaxed. I mean, the motto is laissez le bon temps rouler or whatever. And that means let the good times roll. And they let those good times roll. But it's fun. Like, I don't know how anything gets done there. Everything's so relaxed, so chill. It's almost, it's just weird. I don't know why people even go to work down there. It's the air is just oppressive too in the summertime. It wasn't too bad when we went in June. But I get why you don't want to move and don't want to do anything because it's heavy. It just hurts to breathe, I got winded walking half of a block. Thankfully, there was a bar right there so you could pop in, air conditioning, grab a cocktail, rejuvenate. It was great. Yeah, it was really great. Okay, we're just gonna cut a lot of this stuff. Oh, the only thing is, I do want to say this, and I'm not going to call out specific restaurants here because I'm not going to be like I'm not going to be like Deli Mouse girl. But it does kind of feel like things are a little bit rusty in some of the bars and restaurants, right? It was, right? Yeah. Like you're actually here, right? Maybe you are. Maybe you're, if you're here, that's weird. Can you blink the lights if you're around? This is going to turn into like a Stranger Things, you're on the other side thing. Nope. Okay. Nobody's here. Great. But it feels like it's a little bit rusty. Like we had one dish that came out that was, it was like I don't know what I'm trying to say. What's like a meat pie with the biscuits on top? Oh God, I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to listen to this back when I edit it, and it's going to drive me nuts because I can't remember the name of it. It's like it was originally like a British food, right? Like it's a meat pie with pastry on top, like a puff pastry. Oh my God, it's killing me. Anyway, but it had rabbit in it, and there were little bones in it. And this was at a nicer restaurant, and that I think is laziness on the kitchen's part. I think, because that wouldn't make it on an episode of Chopped, right? That would be like Ron Sanchez would dig into it and be like, this was really good, top notch. It was super tasty, but I found little bones. So you're disqualified. You're chopped, right? That would be the thing. Little bones in there. Come on, guys. I don't know who's working back there in the kitchen, and if they haven't worked in a while, but come on, it tasted great, but bones? I don't know, are we getting lazy now as we're going back to work? I say we, but are we getting lazy as we go back to work? I keep reading in the news that, and actually, I walked down 9th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan, and I swear, I have to say, I swear, like, you're not going to believe this. I swear what I'm about to say is true. But I swear that almost every other place, or like every third or fourth restaurant or bar, had a help wanted sign that said, we're looking for barbacks, experienced bartenders, waiters, like everything. People are hiring. But I guess there's still that financial disincentive to work because we're still paying people not to work. So I understand. I mean, after talking to people on both sides of it, they're like, I'm not going to come back yet. I'm still making a decent living sitting on my couch. And I think I talked about this in a couple podcasts ago. But anyway, are we a little bit rusty as we're getting back to work? Is there kind of like this unconscious, do we kind of know that restaurants, and I'm speaking kind of about the restaurant industry here because that's what I experienced down there and up here. But are we kind of unconsciously aware of the fact that, can you be unconsciously aware? I don't think you can. But are we kind of aware that like these places are lucky to have us? Is that the mindset? Actually, I was at a bar in New Orleans and overheard a conversation. There was another bartender that came in, sat down, and he kept coming in late or something. And he was like, what are they going to do? Fire me? And then he said, even if they do, I'll just get a job anywhere else since everyone else is hiring. And, okay. But I get how you could be that guy. But do you want to be that guy that's just inviting? He looked like this was the way that he operated his life. But, come on, you can fix it. Because you're better than that. Dude, bartender, whatever your name was. I didn't get his name. We didn't talk to him. He was talking to the bartenders. But also, if you're on the other side of the bar, then listening to this guy talk about it, don't you kind of know, like, well, we're never going to hire this guy. Like, you never know who's listening and who's, that's just, he did talk about coming to work high. So, all right, maybe it's par for the course. But why would you brag about that when you could have a potential employer or even an employee sitting right across from you? Would you go work for that one? I don't know. Are we getting lazy? And if we get lazy, then the Russians come. They steal our beef and our oil. That's really the upshot here. This is when this is the gotcha part of this podcast. This whole thing has been one big wind up to say Russia's coming for you. No, and I don't know how they're doing the hacks and everything. It's amazing to me, but like, are these businesses operating on Windows XP and they just haven't updated? Like, how are they, or are employees clicking on the phishing emails? Are we that dumb? Maybe the emails are just that good. I don't know. I mean, I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming you a little bit. You still let it happen. But, come on, guys. We're better than this. Maybe that's the title of this week's podcast, is We're Better Than This. And you know what? I'm going to give you guys a short podcast, so maybe we'll just wrap it up right now. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your attention, letting me into your ears and into your cars. And that just got awkward. Anthony, note when you edit this, delete that. Anyway, but I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.